Hey foodies, in this video I'll be showing you how to make sardine bread in Nigerian style. Without wasting much time, let's get right into the video. For this recipe, we'll be using 1.5 cup of flour. Ensure the flour has been properly sieved. And then next, for this recipe, we'll be using 1 tablespoon of milk. We want this bread to be rich as possible, so we're using milk to enlighten the richness. In anything baking, egg can never be left out, so we'll be using 1 egg. 1 tablespoon of sugar should not be left out too. You will also be needing butter for this recipe. Don't worry, if you don't get this recipe, you can check the description for the recipe. And then we'll be using this sardine. What's the sardine bread without sardine? Obviously, this is also part of the main ingredient. We would also be needing yeast for this recipe, so let's get right into this. First, you want to put 1/4 cup of water into your bowl. Make sure it is warm. Then your sugar goes in next. The rising agent, which is your yeast, goes in next. We'll be using 1 teaspoon of this yeast, and then for the richness purpose, we'll be adding our milk. And then what we need to do next is to just stir everything all together. The purpose of mixing this together is to make sure that the yeast dissolve completely. Then going in next, we'll add our egg, which is going to act as our binding agent. Since we are making sardine bread, we want to make sure that we infuse flavors of sardine into this mixture. So we are going to be using the sardine oil. We are going to be pouring it into our mixture. Just know that we are trying to build flavors. Add salt to taste into this mixture, and then you mix everything together. My food lovers, if you've watched to this point, please don't forget to support me by liking, commenting, and subscribing, most especially to this channel, so you can see more amazing recipes just like this. And don't forget, the purpose of this channel is to make sure recipes look simple to you. Next thing we are going to add now is to add our sieved flour into the mixture, and you mix everything all together with your spatula first. So when you see that the spatula can no longer withhold it, then you switch to your hands. Trust me, if you follow this recipe just like this, you are well on your way to greatness. At this point, you can see that the spatula can no longer do its work, so the hand needs to come in. We need to knead this as much as possible. You remember when I said the purpose of this channel is to make things look simple for you? So now we are going to knead this even without using a mixer. Like, I'm going to teach you that we can actually do a bread without a mixer. You just need to put in the work, like knead for like 10 to 15 minutes with your hands. At this point, I would just want to remove the dough from the bowl and put it on my work surface so I can be able to knead it very, very well. I'll be adding a little bit of butter so that it can give it that soft texture. Then I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour around this so I can be able to knead properly without the dough sticking to my hands. You just need to keep on kneading. Just try your best. Knead as much as possible for 10 to 15, at least 20 minutes. Then you are actually good to go. The dough is actually going to be sticky, but that's to show you that your bread is actually going to be a soft, a fluffy type. So you just need to keep on kneading. So at this point, you can see, like, the way I'm kneading it, you can see that it's having that soft texture. At the beginning, it's going to be sticky, but as time goes on, it's not going to be sticky any longer. But if you need an alternative when the dough is being sticky to your hands, you can just put a little bit of groundnut oil and rub it around your palm, and then you will really love it that way. It's going to be very simple for you to do. So you just need with one hand, like you are washing a clothes on your surface, you just drag it in and drag it out, and then you are good to go. At this point, I'm done kneading, and all what I'm trying to do is to just like arrange the dough to be in a circular form so I can allow it to rest for at least an hour or 30 minutes minimal. You can see how smooth it looks. That's to show you that this dough is a perfect one to make your bread. Once it is neatly wrapped, you want to take your dough and put it into a neatly bowl, and then you cover it and allow it to rest for at least 40 to 60 minutes. Make sure you cover it in an airtight container, or you cover it with a cloth. So since this is sardine bread, we want to prepare our sardine, which is alternatively going to be as a filling to the bread. So you pour the portion of the sardine you would want to use. I'm using this mackerel sardine. Once you've taken the portion that you feel like is enough, the next thing you want to go in with your butter. Trust me, this recipe is a banger. That's why you need to watch it to the end. Since I'm Nigerian, we want to add grounded peppers to it, and then milk for that milky texture and filling. You know what it is, right? You want to crush it at this point so that it can fit into the bread neatly well. Crush it well so that all the mixture can go into the fish, so that you can always feel every flavor when you take a bite. You know how that feels, right? So now this is how it's going to look when you are done crushing it perfectly well. My food lovers, if you watched to this part, trust me, you've done well for yourself and you've gotten a new recipe for yourself. So please don't forget to subscribe as you watch. At this point, my dough has already rested for 60 minutes already. So what I'm going to do is to bring out my dough and place it on my work surface and just like knead it a little bit to allow all the air gaps out. You can cut your dough to your preferred size, but for me, I'm going to be cutting it into 3 pieces. Try as much as possible to make sure that the dough are of equal sizes. If you want it to be of equal sizes, you can just use a scale for it. So once you've cut out your dough, the one thing you want to do is to pick one of the dough and then you spread it out. Spread it out so you can place the filling in the middle of the bread. So just take a look at how I'm doing it. That's the filling. I'm going to put it at the middle of the dough. Trust me, I want this to be filling a lot. That's why I prefer homemade more than takeout. Once you're done filling, you just take the edges of the dough and then place them across each other. You just need a little work on it, then you palm it in between. Turn it all around and just massage it. Make sure you close the inside. Seal it very well so that the dough does not come out when you are baking it already. So you want to do the same process for the remaining 2 doughs. So just watch while I do the remaining dough. You can see how lush this looks like. So this is what I want to be giving you on this channel. Trust me, you wouldn't want to miss it. That's why you need to subscribe to this channel. The next thing we are going to do now is to butter our pan. Butter it very well so that the bread does not get sticked when it's ready. Once you're done, you want to lift each dough and then place gently into the pan. Make sure to do it gently, like try as much as possible to do it gently. You fit the three of them inside it gently. Add the remaining sardines on top of the dough so that you can feel the sardine even from the top, not only inside. And this is when your dough is ready. So coming next, you want to break your egg. The reason for using this egg now is to egg wash the face of the bread. You don't want the bread to be looking all white and pale, so we want something brown and nice. After egg washing, then you are 90% ready. You take the bread to the oven. Once it has baked for 30 to 35 minutes, you want to bring out the bread and then egg wash once again so it can be more shining. This is when it has baked for over 1 hour. You can also start checking it from 40 to 60 minutes. For me, I baked mine for 1 hour and this is how it looks like. You can tell from it that this bread was neatly done and is so fluffy and delicious. Try this recipe and you would not want to buy bread outside any longer. You can see how smooth the inside also looks. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more amazing recipes just like this. Bye.